everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So, after last week's epic fail, this week we're hopefully going to have a much better success with getting this car on the road. So we've got a few bits that have come in, two vital pieces that we need to get this car finished. So let me show you what we got and then let's get on and fit them to the car. Okay, so bit number one, handle. This is for the bonnet catch inside the cockpit. I broke this the car. This is my second one because the first one I broke, so I ordered another one, and I broke the other one when I fitted the bonnet catch. So that's bit number one, vital. And of course the other bit is the brake caliper. Now the brake caliper was an interesting one because on the TTAS there's about two calipers that you can buy, so you need to make sure that you get the right one, and hopefully this is the right one that we've got. We've done all the right checks, so I'm hoping that this is the right one. So these are the two very important pieces that we need to complete our project today, and now let's go and fit them. Okay, so there is our brake caliper. That's all C's, and here is our replacement, and she is exactly the same as that one. So we did get the correct one, which is always good because I've got the wrong ones in the past. So we just need to disconnect this one here, and then once we've done that, we can get the new one all connected up, and then that's one job all done. We see we've got the great brake pads in place, and the sliders, all of those bits are all fine. It's just main caliper. So let's get that off, and then we will then fit the new one, and that's job number one done for today. So we managed to get the brake off, and not a drop of fluid came out of that, which is kind of worrying, isn't it? But anyway, here's our caliper, and what we need to do now is we just need to remove this pipe here, place it onto here, and then we just need to put it back in. Simple as that. As simple as that. But actually, let's take a look underneath, and you can see the difference there, can't you? See that one? That won't go in. Look at from the top, you see how far that one is out, and this one is right in. So definitely need to be repaired. But other than that, these calipers are exactly the same. So I'll take this off. I'll do it off camera, and then you'll see me put it back on. Right, after what seemed like an eternity, we finally got that black pipe on. So now I just need to tighten him up and then put the handbrake cable, which is in the back there, attach that as well. But this is taking the best part of about 45 minutes to do because the pipe is so tight and I had to bend it into shape to get it to fit. But it's on now, and that's the main thing. So now we can tighten it up and get it back in. Okay, so the brakes are all back together now, all completed. So what we need to do now is bleed it. So we're just going to bleed this circuit here because obviously we've blocked it off just about here, and we just need to make sure that we've got no air in the system. So I'll get my bleed kit and then we'll just do a quick pump and then we should be fine. Right, okay, so I've got my vacuum bleed kit. If I'm honest with you, I'm not really a fan of these kits because they are very cheap. I got this one from Amazon, and basically you suck the fluid by pumping that end there. The reason why I'm not very good fan because the seal over the nipple isn't all that great, so you have a possibility of introducing air into the system, but it is the quickest way of doing it. Now if we just pump this up, we'll see if we're holding pressure, and what you'll probably see it doing is it will start to go down, which it's doing now. So it's starting to leak, and that's why I don't like these kits that much, but it should allow us to do what we need to do. So we'll get this done very quickly. I'll see if I can get it on camera. Apologies if I don't, it's just getting the right angle, but let's see what we can do. As expected, the cheap Amazon nasty rubbish isn't working. Don't buy these kits, they are absolutely a waste of time. Let me go and get my proper kit that actually works and we'll do it properly. Right, so this is my proper kit. It's a pressure system. Essentially you pump it up into the blue and then you put the cap, which is this here, that goes over the reservoir back there. Actually, let me make sure that this one actually fits, because there's two different sizes and I don't want this to be the wrong one. Is this the right size? Please be the right size. Come on, you can do it. Is it fitting on? Yeah, it's fitting on. Audi size. There you go, nice and tight. There you go. Right, so that's the reservoir. What happens, it fills this up here and then just pumps the system through. Then you just release it and the pressure of the system just pushes it through. And then this is the catch can here that you put on the end here. So let's just top this up with some fluid. So you do fill it up with .4. Put some in there so that it clears the valve. And then we can fill it up. We can then do it again. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let me just check. Yeah, plenty. There you are. So you can see the level there. The only thing you have to do with this is just make sure that it's covering, and it clearly is covering the pipe. This pipe down the inside. I might just put a little bit more in actually, because there's no harm in doing that. Even though we're only going to bleed it for a little bit. Just make sure we got enough. There we go. Right, you then put the cap on here and then you literally pump it up, and then that is it. And once it's pumped, you could then watch the fluid come out the other side. So let me go and do that. Okay, so we left a cheap reservoir on there, and as you can see, it's now working. It's filling up nicely, which is good. And we've got nice clear fluid coming in through there now, so that is now properly bled. In fact, you can see it leaking through, so I need to put a tap on there quickly and tighten that up. But that's working perfectly. That's the way it should work, not the way it was working before. Brilliant. There you go, job done. 40 quid from Amazon, and then when you finish, you just release the pressure. And that is it. And then you return the fluid. You need to make sure you don't leave any fluid in there, otherwise it will perish the pipes. But this thing here is worth its weight in gold, and it's the real proper way of bleeding. Now, I probably will bleed the brakes in this car at some point, but not today. We just want to make sure that we get everything sorted. Okay, right, now let's put this handle back in, the one that I broke. Let's sort this out. Okay, so we've pushed the piston out and the wheel is now biting. You can hear it. Okay, so what we want to do is now test the handbrake. So let's just pull that handbrake up. Alright, make sure that wheel, ooh, ooh, yep, that ain't going nowhere. That's absolutely locked and load. Alright, let's just loosen him up. Perfect. Good. Right. So let's get the wheel on now, and then we just got to sort out the handle that came out. There's the old piece. The new one should just slot back in. Let's go and do that now. Right. Last thing we need to do before we lower it is the bonnet catch, and that just goes into here. Just slots in. We need to test it to see if it works though. So that plugs in like that. So he's in. These things are incredibly weak and they break all the time. Let's test it now. So bonnet's down, let's push him down. Oh, I think we need to adjust the bonnet catch. I think this is probably a little bit too low. We need to bring this up a little bit higher. Let's do that now. Do that off camera, then we'll try that again.
Many tic tacs later.
Right, so we just moved the catch up slightly. Doesn't have much in the way of adjustment, but let's see now. Yeah, it's better. So it's shut straight away. So that's fine. What's our lines looking like? Yep, the lines are looking good. Not that this car's been in any damage, but we want to make sure that the gaps are just right. It looks all right. Okay, let's now try the catch. So, doesn't need much pressure, it shouldn't do. Let's give it a bit of a pull. There we go. Perfect. So that came up nice. Okay. That is the completed picture for now. So let's just lower the car now. Just want to clear, make sure everything's underneath it's clear, and then we'll bring her down for the first time in a very long time. Right, so she's down on the ground. So I guess the only thing left to do now is take her outside and see if she moves. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. First drive of the TTS since the rebuild. Okay, so we're in the car. This is the first drive of the TTS, so hopefully it'll go into gear and we'll be able to get out the garage and we'll be able to take it outside. So let's start her up, foot on the brake. And she starts up nice. Stick her into reverse. Oh, she's going back. Drive all right. moving. Whoa. That is brilliant. She's moving on her own steam, which is fantastic. Right, so what we'll do, we'll get her outside and we'll just get her to warm up a bit. But in the meantime, that's perfect. Moves. And no issue. Everything seems to be alright. Dashboard is looking good. Happy days. So there we go, everyone. Car is out of the garage. Just letting her warm up a little bit, burning off a little bit of oil because we've got some oil at the back there, so that's absolutely fine. That's from where we were assembling, but everything is together, everything is running all right. We're just going to wait until the fan comes in, and I'm also just watching the level of the water here, the coolant go down. I might need to top her up. In fact, I will need to top her up, so I'll top her up in a second, but I'm just going to leave her up for now. But yeah, so far so good. No little issues or anything like that, and she seems to be running fine. Gears working perfectly. She drove okay out. Most importantly, we've got white steam coming out the back instead of blue smoke, which again is perfect. There is a little bit of oil in there from the previous engine that had burnt. Well, we need to let that burn through, but the engine itself is absolutely fine, which I'm really happy and pleased about. Let's give it a little bit of a rev. Yeah, that engine sounds so much better. So we'll just let the oil burn off, and then we'll take her just for a little run up the road after we top up the fluids. Right, I think we are ready for that first drive. So we're literally just going to go up the road and back again. Let's go. All right, she's in reverse. Handbrake down, that would help. Here we go. Okay, let's go. Stick her in gear. Third gear, back to second, and here comes some Maserati, my neighbour's Maserati. You'll see it in a second, a green one. Gonna come in, there he comes. Okay. We're just going to go up the road and come back, and we've done that, so let's just reverse. Now if this bit seems a bit disjointed, my camera keeps on falling off, but we are driving. Alright. Okay. Feels good. Go back in the drive. Perfect. She passes. And that is it, my friends. First drive was a resounding success. The car was driving on its own steam. We had no issues, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a shakedown now and then do some prep work to get it for the MOT. But other than that, it drove beautifully. Good. Let's summarize what we've been able to do. See that? That is the smile of joy having just gone through a first successful drive. This moment has been a long time in coming. I know for you guys who've been watching this go over the year, and we've had this car for a year, like I've said, to get to this moment is a magical moment. So I'm so pleased. And obviously there's a few things that I need to button up, but in general the car drove absolutely fine. Even though we just went up the road and back, it drove very well. There was nothing really that I thought that needs to be done. There's a few little adjustments. I still need to put all the plastic cladding and stuff like that, which I will do for the MOT, because otherwise it will get picked up on the MOT that the under tray is missing, blah blah blah, etc etc. But we'll get all those done. We'll get the car booked in for an MOT next week, and then we'll take it out for its first natural run. But first indication, the car changed gear just right. It came up on the dashboard that it is changing gear as well, so it means that really we're okay. So so yeah, I guess that is the end of this project as such. So we're not quite finished with this car. You're going to still see it pop up now and again, but there's other things that we need to do. So what is next? Well, obviously we want to get this car prepped for sale as soon as possible, and then once we get that done, then finally a new project. I know you've been dying to see that, so it is coming. So thank you for sticking with this for so long. And again, if you are a casual viewer, please consider subscribing, because I'd like to see if I can get to about 50k by the end of this year. So you subscribing helps, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it just means that we attract the right kind of people who want to influence this video, i.e. sponsors and brands as well, which is where I'm trying to aim at. So in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you are a casual viewer. Click on the bell notification so that you're notified whenever we release a new video, and I guess we have something new for you next week. In fact, we do have something new for you next week. Not a new car, but we're going to revisit some of our old friends. We've got some jobs that need to be done, that have been desperate to be done, and I need to get the TTS off the drive. And now that we've got it off the drive, or off the garage to say, we can now get those fixed and get those sorted. So join us next week. We'll have our next video. In the meantime, have a good week, and we'll see you on the next one.